We're going to talk about anger today, how we hide it in our body, how we hold on to it, how we share it, how we deal with it. Are we allowed to be angry or do we have guilt over being angry? So, the way to look at this is to look inside and see what's in that little goodie bag we call our subconscious. And we do that by beginning with relaxation because that's the way we open the door to the subconscious. Other things open the door, like strong emotions or recounting a dream, something that came out of the subconscious, opens the door back in. So there's several things that open the door and make us vulnerable to what's going on at the time. So that's a good reason to make sure that if you are doing any personal work on yourself, that you have a good space, that you aren't in that overly emotional state when you get advice and things from other people, because it does tend to go right in. And if we have PTSD, it will go right in and dysregulate us. And I might add procrastination and not being able to start or not being able to finish things is also another mark of PTSD. So, complex PTSD. So, we're going to begin today by getting comfortable and leaning back. And all you got to do is relax. There's nothing that can happen beyond your degree of comfort. And this is where we come to look at some of those difficult things and be able to understand exactly what to do with them. Anger is one that we can tend to harm our own bodies with. So that's why it's an important one. Well, all of our feelings are important, but anger is one that's a little bit difficult to deal with sometimes. So lean back and support your neck. Get comfortable and be at ease. We're going to begin a little bit different step on this journey as well. We work a lot with our inner children. We work a lot with our critical parent or our nurturing parent. So what we also need to work with is our inner adult. And who's the adult in the room when things happen? Who's the person that is able to decipher what's really going on from what things seem to be going on the surface? So lean back, support your neck, and we're just going to begin relaxing. And this state is a little like a daydream. It's about halfway between sleep and awake. Yeah, we want to be able to get into that softened state where we can relax and look at things a little bit differently. Just begin to drift down. You can pick a spot on the wall or on the ceiling, and without raising your head up to it, actually roll your eyes up to look at it. It can be anything. And just gaze at it. We're going to do that for 5 seconds. There's something that happens with your eyes when you let them look up as though they're looking out through a window in your forehead. They actually move up there, looking into your thought processes. Sometimes people will look always up towards their forehead. And I know that sometimes at least sometimes, they're moving away from their feelings and moving into their thoughts. And today we're going to deliberately move into those thoughts and be able to make this work for us. So You can begin by putting your thumb and finger together. And we're going to definitely add this today onto that little positive trigger. The thumb and finger is selective awareness. You'll notice that you can feel your fingertip touching your thumb, or you can feel your thumb touching your fingertip, but you can't really feel both at the same time. So when we get our mind on the solution, we have to take it off the problem. If our mind is focused on the problem, then it's off the solution. They're both lying right there side by side in your subconscious. So as you begin to drift down, we're going to begin to allow any stress or tension from your body to flow down your arm to your thumb and finger. And you might want to raise that hand a little bit above the surface that you're sitting on or resting on, maybe a little above the arm of the chair, whatever you're on that supports you. And we're going to take a deep breath and hold it to the count of 4. And when we exhale, we're going to count to 8. And when you open your thumb and finger at the count of 8, you can just drop that stress or tension that you're holding in your body. Drop it from between your thumb and finger. Just let it flow there right now. And we're going to begin by taking that deep breath and hold it as I count 1, 2, 3, 4. And listen to the silence. Let it out very slowly as you relax. 1, 2, 3, 4. Your deepest relaxation. 5. Being able to be comfortable and in the moment. 6, 7. Getting ready now to let go and to drop your hand. Release your thumb and finger on the very next count. And 8. Send that message down through your body that it's time to relax. It's time to be able to look easily at those childhood traumas. So with 8 being counted and that complete release, you can even send another wave of relaxation down through your body to help you let go. Just breathing deep has its own benefits. And you're doing a good job for yourself as you drop into this comfortable relaxation. Because you're the only one that can do this. There's no trying. There's only do or not do. Because your subconscious hears the word try as failure. So we need to stop saying that about ourselves and say, I'm doing this now. Would be something like, I'm moving ahead to this point. So as we do that, as we begin to move ahead, we can let any tension go and begin by thinking of 5 things that you can see, and then 4 things that you can touch right in your environment. And you can think curtain, carpet, chair, bed, whatever you're on. Just 5 things. And then move to 4 things that you remember seeing just before you closed your eyes. things that are around you. Just 4 things. And then continue to move down further, down deep into inside who you are. That's right. And move to 3 things. 3 things that you can hear. It might be the sound of a woman with a vacuum. Before you do anything else, think of these things that you can touch right here and now. It's very important because it brings your nervous system back into alignment. You may just think of doing one thing and letting it go, but this is important. And then move from the 3 things. 3 things that you might add a sense of scent. What can you smell with 3 things? What is the aroma of whatever it is you have in your hand? Or maybe something drifting in the air, maybe cooking from a neighbor. That's very restful. As you move down to 2 things. 2 things that you can hear. Maybe something that you can hear. Something that you find here can enable you to work on that book that you're writing about your life. Okay. And that 2 things. 2 things that you have recently tasted. That's very good. That's it. And then focus on one thing that you can taste. One taste in your mouth. Could be the last thing that you ate or just a neutral taste of your mouth. It brings you very much That's right. Okay, that's right. And just allow yourself to drift down deeper. You might move your chin to the right side. That's it. Yes. And as you settle down completely, allow yourself to move into this beautiful old room. That's right. And it amazes me. There's so many people on weight loss drugs and they take pictures of them and everything. Now, begin to relax and drift down. Maybe it's just that you're in the wrong time or the wrong place or with the wrong person. But sometimes things come up in our life, very difficult exchanges. You may think that they're worthless and dried up. Whenever these opportunities may be,
Sound went away.
that's it. And as you drift down even further, you might feel as though you are almost falling asleep. That's okay. You're in a state that is very close to sleep. And that's why I let you go there. Because our dreams tell us so much. They give us information, but we don't always know how to unravel them because we listen for words. We listen for a story, and our dreams speak to us in symbols. So as you rest, you can imagine yourself in a situation that is completely safe. And one or more of your inner children may be there in the room. You can invite them in, let it be a pleasant place for them. You may recognize them, you may be familiar with them, or this may be the first time you've communicated with them, or it's a different one. It's okay, anybody's welcome. And that one child seems to be a little frustrated. She seems to be a little angry. Ask her if she has the words to explain about anger. This is just a little inside talk. Ask her if she knows how to use words about feeling, like, I'm feeling frustrated because I couldn't get this fixed, or I couldn't do this, or I'm feeling just a little fuzzy around the edges. I don't know how to have this feeling. And I want to be able to have the feeling without getting in trouble. So you can help her move her thoughts in a direction. What does she need to feel that she is defended against? Because a lot of times anger is a response to being criticized. Sometimes it's fear of having people that don't understand what you're doing or trying to do, and they aren't being helpful. Maybe they're trying to be, but it can pull up feelings of anger and feelings that we need to protect a part of ourselves. So a lot of times anger brings in that feeling of defending ourselves. A lot of us have never had anyone be angry on our behalf. So as the nurturing parent or the critical parent, you're there in the room with her. You're able to talk to her. And imagine what what would it be like? What would it be like to have someone else defend you? Would you still be as angry? Would that inner child be as frustrated? Sometimes does it act out because it wants people to know how bad it feels. It's important to know that you aren't alone. There's somebody else in that room with you that is your inner adult. The inner adult knows exactly what to do, exactly what to say. Can the child listen to the inner parent? It's important that the child know that there's an observer. Who is it that actually feels the anger? When you say, I'm angry, or it's like, I'm lonely, or I'm tired, or who is the I which you're speaking about? And our adult self has the job of being able to guide the child self through difficult interactions. Because If you look at the child's feelings, she isn't in a good place to be able to know how to express herself. And she isn't in a good place to be alone. She needs some support. So you can look in those images that you have in your mind of a good parent, a protective parent. It might even be your higher power. The love just flows into the room to your inner children as your higher power begins to speak to your heart. That's right. Now, there's a person there that knows what to do, and that's the person that is noticing those feelings that seem overwhelming. The inner adult. This isn't necessarily the parent. It may have a lot of parental attributes, but mostly the adult in the room is going to shut down an angry interaction. One that isn't going anywhere is going to cause both pain to the child and to the adult part. So, if you like, you can allow that adult self to come into the room and be there with your child self. I say child, teenager, whatever age they are. You can notice whether or not you have other feelings. Do you have sadness? Do you feel like love is going to be withdrawn? Do you think that the other thing is more important than what's happening right here and now? We have to decide on importance, and we have to relax and go deeper. This is purposely very loose, so you have a chance to just stroll through your feelings. You know how to observe and decide what's really happening. Now, relax into this feeling. Relax into the feeling of anger. That's right. That's right. Who are you looking to be that knowing self? Who are you looking to that names the feeling? Because that's the person that's in charge of dealing with that feeling. And it's very vitally important to many of us. It's so much better. But things that you don't really understand aren't working out well for the inner child. The inner child just has a shot of adrenaline, gets angry, and fights. That's what little ones do. When our feelings become overwhelming, we have to find a way to come back down, to center ourselves, to ground ourselves, and to find that adult in the room, to find that adult self. Take a chance now on your inner child and let her talk to you. Let her tell you what she's afraid will happen if she doesn't actually read it directly from her book. Very good. Look deeply into your own body and see if it's reacting anywhere as you think about these things. See if your breath rate is going up or your blood pressure. It's important to have that support. It's vitally important to have that backup. The one that says, it's only because your love is frustrated. You wanted to do this out of love. That's right. As you spend this time with yourself, there's a lot of quietness today. And the quietness is to give you time to be in charge, to give you time to be listening to your inner children. I don't know if that inner voice is telling you to clean something or to put something away, or but if it is showing you anyway, this is a time for you to make use of the information. Take the information you get from your inner child. Take it from those spots in your head that were just being. Okay. So gather your thoughts together, and we're looking for anger, sadness, fear, and happiness. How do you deal with anger now? Is that the best way? That's right. Can you feel and feel safely, peacefully that if you don't do another thing in this life, that you have come to yourself in this special way. Why is that? Allow yourself room to speak. And this is going very, very calmly for a reason, because we need to re-regulate the nervous system. We need to let it know that nothing is going to happen beyond what it chooses. If you allow yourself to speak freely on these little internal rest stops, you'll be able to find that adult in the room that can step in. These little rest stops enable you to learn and decipher your own behavior. Ask your inner child if they feel safe. Ask them if they tell you that they're angry. What do they think will happen? What do they think will happen with the adult selves? What'll happen in this life? Ask if they're able to communicate and if they're able to withdraw the symbols or the signs that they're giving you through maybe aching in your body, various even itching and skin things. Sometimes they're caused by irritation, a form of anger that comes out when we hold things in. We need to decide how we're going to vent them. Your inner children need to be able to vent them to you. If you don't know what to do with them, you find the adult in the room, because your adult self is the one that has the communication skills, that's able to explain what to do or how it needs to be done, or to defend your inner child. Not in an angry way, but just in a matter of fact way. Just to take care of that inner child. And by going slow, one step at a time, one thought at a time, it gives us time to decide without outside interference. It gives us time to decide what we need to do and how we need to do it. We also need to know that anger is beneficial. Anger can give us the strength to change. Anger can also allow us to stand up for ourselves, and not necessarily in an angry way, just to stand up for ourselves. Just to say something as simple as no, or, well, that isn't going to be happening, or I'm not comfortable with that, or any number of other things that we learn, little sayings, just little sentences that we can say. We don't have to go past that. If people want to know more about our anger, people can ask questions. You can explain to a degree, but if you over-explain, that's a symptom of PTSD. Over-explaining all the time. Why? Because we're afraid. Because we're protecting ourselves. We want to explain ourselves so thoroughly that people won't criticize us or judge us. It's a difficult position to be in. And that's why I'm moving so gently today. Because those wounded little parts of ourselves, they need to begin to trust not themselves, but to trust the adult that's in charge. It wasn't the job of your children, your inner child. It wasn't their job to take care of your parents. It wasn't their job to take care of other people. That's where we get lost because we don't want to think only of ourselves, but we also need to stop people that are only thinking of themselves. If someone is putting you in a difficult position, this is the time to think about how to get out of it, how to change it, how to arrive at a different place where you can hold the space for yourself. And again, who's doing the holding? The adult self. Because the critical parent is likely to tell somebody off. That isn't necessarily the way to win the situation. However, it is a good thing to have, a good thing to know about the critical parent. It needs to use that skill that it has to stand up for you. The way it's learned to be active, the things that make your inner children angry, you feel angry with yourself, sometimes guilty or ashamed for being angry. We need to understand that the critical parent is doing its job, and we need to understand how to tell it to do it right. The adult in the room is the one to do that, because it's the adult that's going to stay regulated and grounded right in the middle. It's the adult that's going to put her foot down and people will not just step on it. A lot of us are used to that. We try our best to say no or to stop a situation, and people just ignore it. This is a really good reason why we don't go too far. Because the adult is never going to say anything they aren't willing to back up. Children will say anything. Children will say, I'll get something and beat you up. I'll do something, blah, blah, blah. Children will say those things. But adults know that that isn't really going to happen or shouldn't. And adults know that this isn't the best way to approach it. Sometimes the best way to approach it is to say, I don't understand. Because if they can't explain themselves, how can you understand what it is they even want? A lot of times we get so caught up in doing and caretaking that we get caught in that trap. They don't even know what they want from us. And we start trying to do the right thing. What if the adult in the room says, I'd like to help. I don't know what it is that you need. I don't seem to have any good ideas. Because it isn't your job to take care of them. And when you take it on yourself, you get angry. And it triggers your inner children because your inner children are angry over trying to take care of other people, maybe siblings or maybe your parents that are acting immature. They aren't able to take care of themselves. And the child winds up feeling like they should be able to do something. Those days are over. Your adult self can tell your inner children, I am in charge and I will keep you safe. I will speak to these people and I will make sure that they understand that we want to help, but we don't necessarily have the skill or the availability of resources or any number of things. What else might the adult say? The adult may say, I think it's best that you work this out yourself because you know all of the details. Sometimes the adult will say, sometimes the answer is no. Sometimes we don't get what we want. It isn't, well, if you did this right, then it would do something. That's critical parent talking. Anytime, I'll get to the important part. Anytime you get a sense that you are trying to dominate the other person, chances are you have moved into your parental self. If they are trying to dominate you, they have moved into their parental self, not in their adult self. Either one of those scenarios, one is acting like the parent and the other is acting like the child. There is nothing that causes rage more than that. You can stop doing that this very day by looking to the person that knows what the feeling is. The part of you that goes, oh, that was kind of hurtful. And be able to say that. I didn't know you felt that way. There's a lot of things to say. But the most important one is to be able to say no. And to say it kindly and gently. And to be able to say it to your benefit and to their benefit. No, I feel that I would be taking away a real opportunity for growth for you if I took care of this. They need to walk their own path. When we get angry, it's usually because someone has yanked us off of our own and put us on the other one. We get angry. We don't belong on their path. We don't have to follow them. We have our own mission in life. That's what we follow. Let those things become truth. Understand them. Choose every one that applies to you. Focus it right there in your heart and check into that library of the adult. And we'll do more about that because it's vitally important. Your inner adult is the record keeper, the observer, the one that says, well, I feel sad. But your inner adult won't be the one that goes, how dare you make me sad? We only give people the power that we want to give them, and they don't have the power to take it from us if we won't give it to them. There's a little joke. If someone is trying to drive you crazy, don't give them the keys to the car. Don't hand the steering wheel over to them. You stay in charge of your life, and that is an adult option. That is an adult option. Trust the inner adult and begin to find out more about her. We'll do more work on that. But for right now, let's be grateful for that inner adult. Let her go back where she belongs. She should be the general practitioner that does everyday life stuff. Just let them go to the places that they live, that kind spot in her heart that takes all the inner children and continues to love them. Let them all rest there as you begin to be aware of the surface that you're resting on. I hope you had a good rest today, a peaceful time. Something that lets you know that you can look at difficult things and do it without upset. You can do it calmly and at ease in your adult self. Begin to feel that surface beneath you. Supportive surface, welcoming surface. We lean on things that support us and never on things that don't. When I count from 1 to 5, at the count of 5, open your eyes wide awake, feeling relaxed, refreshed, deeply at ease, ready to enjoy the rest of a beautiful day. And no matter what it is, it's a beautiful day because we're here. We're alive. We support each other. We're together. And we are growing and changing every day, a little at a time. So with the number 1, just begin to come up. Number 2, be aware of that surface beneath you. Number 3, feel the need to stretch and move around a little bit. To find yourself bringing that ease and comfort into your waking state. Number 4, just take another deep breath and wiggle your fingers and toes. And number 5, just open your eyes, wide awake and feeling wonderful in every way. Enjoying your inner peace today.